What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Andrew coming in here with another Inspiring Greatness video. Uh, I honestly want to take out time to really acknowledge myself here for a moment and allow myself to shine in the light that I am radiating within. And it's not been an easy journey to get here. I put in all the work for all the healing traumas that I went through in life, and that's why I talk about these things, because I've done the work to get there, and now it's giving people the easier route to get there so they don't have to work as hard, or they don't have to go through the same traumas. Because when I tried killing myself when I was 17 years old, I was actually very, very, very fortunate that I didn't accidentally kill myself. And here's the truth. Uh, it wasn't an accident, and it's brought me closer to where I was supposed to be in today's world. Uh, and that's the thing. So I never look at it, I never regret it, but I always try to give the lessons forward so that nobody has to go through that same type of thing. And it's not just that, it's all the healing traumas, the things that we bury in our subconscious mind, because remember, your brain just wants to keep you protected. And the reason why it wants to keep you protected, because it can't deal with pain the way that we perceive it, right? And pain is something that exists, but we make it exist 10 times more when we feel it. And so that's why our brains shove a lot of things in our subconscious mind. Right now, like, I'm working on my inner child again, bringing that back out, because that's what brings you joy in life, is your inner child. A child can cry about something for 20 minutes and then all of a sudden forget about it once they're done crying. Because here's the thing, kids are just unconditionally loving, and this is why even as we progress as adults, we still have that inner child within us. And this is why it's a good practice to get to understand that inner child and understand that wound, or those wounds that that inner child carries. So a big one for me, as an example, was my inner child felt very disconnected, very disoriented from who I was as a man today, because I grew up so fast. And through my experiences, through different psychedelics and through a lot of meditations, a lot of that healing had to come through. And now I understand that we as humans, we don't like to deal with the wrongs. We don't like to deal with the troubles. We don't like to deal with the negatives. But here's the truth. You gotta do it for yourself, not anybody else. You really gotta take care of yourself so that you can live that relationship of a life that you honestly are absolutely happy. Or another thing, your career. To be successful in your career, you got to be right up here. But if you're not right in here, forget about up here, because this is what controls your emotions. This is just your ego. This is just your brain. This is your computer. Your heart is your hard drive. Without your heart, you're dead. Without your brain, listen, they can do brain surgery and you'll still be alive. The machine will keep you alive, because as long as your heart is pumping, you're alive. But here's the thing. To do a heart transplant, that's a very finical surgery that has to be completed very quickly. And if it's not completed very quickly, it could be fatal. And the truth is, everyone, this is why I get into these conversations, because I want people to realize that we got to get back into our hearts, back into understanding ourselves, because you can't expect to be in the most romantic relationship if you don't love yourself. A most loving relationship with your friends, family, girlfriends, boyfriends, you can't have that if you do not understand your own love. And as that being said, guys, that's why it's so important that we do heal through our traumas and we do work through them, and we put in the time just like anything else, right? Here's a beautiful example. I used to suck with anger. I used to have very big bursts of anger. And the truth was, it was just unfortunate that I had that. But it was just the household I grew up in, everything. There were so many different factors that contributed to that anger, but it was just unacceptable by me because I didn't like it. I didn't like yelling. I didn't like, raising my voice. And, I was just so programmed and so trained to be that way because of the way I grew up. That's why, honestly, I talk about these things, and that's why, I get people to realize all these things, regardless if it's through my experiences or experience of others that I've listened to, it's just simply we got to put in the work. We got to put in the work to be where we want to be. And honestly, the way that the universe works, you just got to get it out of your own way and let the universe do what it needs to do. If you hold yourself at a higher vibration, at a higher sensitivity of love. So maybe I should go into a whole thing about this, but there's a whole chart of where we should carry ourselves. And it's not necessarily where we should carry, it's where do you want to be? Where do you want to resonate? And the only reason I say we should, and the only reason I refer it that way, is because I believe that all you need in life is love. The answer to anything in this world is love. If we as human beings did things out of love instead of fear, this world would be a better place. We wouldn't have to rob people for money. We wouldn't have to... It's just ridiculous that people don't understand this, because, like an example, for men out there that are watching this, I always ask people, how would you want someone to treat your mother or your daughter? How would you want another man to treat your mother or your daughter or your sister or anybody that's a woman? When you put it into that perspective, you can then paint the picture in your head of how you want a man to treat that person. And if you're like me, you would want your mother to be happy. And I'm assuming everybody is. We all enjoy to see people happy and everything. But again, you wouldn't want your mom to be with somebody that is no good. Your sister, your daughter, no good. Somebody that is consistently bringing them down. So here's the thing. When you understand that concept, you're going to be that man that treats that woman right, that mother right, that daughter, that whatever, that sister of a friend. And that's the thing. When you put it in your mind, what a role model should be like towards that female person in your life that you love and care about, and you start acting in accordance to that person that you have up here out of love, that's where you find your peace. That's where you find you're becoming a better man. That's where you're finding you're becoming a better person. Because when you do things out of love, the number one golden rule that a lot of us grew up learning was treat others the way you want to be treated. And if you treat others with love, you're going to get love. Yes, you're going to get the negatives, but they just need extra love. There's people that too many people have been traumatized. Too many people have been hurt in this world. It's time to change this world. It's time to light up the world. It's time to shine. So everybody that's watching this, honestly, you could say your goods, you could say your bads, and I appreciate it all. Because I learned how to live within duality. The negatives don't affect me. I've learned to make peace with my negatives. Doesn't mean I don't get down on myself. Of course I get down on myself. It happens. But I work through it. And this time, instead of spending a whole year or years trying to get through, a battle, I spend a lot less time. Which, again, people, the most precious thing that we have is time. And there's a reason why they call the moment that you're in right now the present. Because it's a gift. And this is why we have to slow down and really realize these things, so that we can make this place a better place. Not for us, for everybody that's coming after us. This is the journey that we're going to go on. And it's how do we want to pave the road for the next generation, for the next set of people. And because my generation of ages, or the generation in my age group, we've got to see life in both aspects, right? We got introduced into the technology world, but we also got the world where we never had technology, right? I think I got my first cell phone in grade 9, and I had to pay for it after the first month. That was my thing, so I went to work, right? And again, that's part of me growing up too fast. It taught me a lot of things, but at the same time, I forgot to be a child. I forgot to be a kid. But you know what? I'm actually even more greater because that kid exists within me today, and that's why people look at me and think I'm weird or goofy and this and that. And I love it. I fucking love it, because people need to realize is that your mind is the only thing that makes us different, because you're watching this, but this is potentially you talking to yourself at nighttime. This is you just with a different physical appearance. We are all one. We're all connected. Everything in this world is connected, and we know this on a scientific level. Atoms and protons and neutrons and so on and so forth, and I'm not gonna go into that. But everyone, like, this is why we should look towards putting in the work and loving ourselves and getting back to who we are on a soul level. Because in today's world, it's not going to get any easier, because we're being consumed by technology. And technology is drifting us away. It's just like an addiction. Like, an example, if you show up to a dinner and you put your phone on the table, what message are you sending out to the people at that table? You're sending out the message that whatever you guys have to say is not as important as a phone, because I'm expecting a phone call or this and that. And yes, okay, it's acceptable, but that phone call will not hurt if you wait an hour just to have a great dinner with your family. And that phone call won't make you bankrupt if, you know, you're just spending time with people that may not be there tomorrow. And that's the thing. That's why time is such a precious commodity, and why time is so important. So with that being said, everybody, honestly, keep keep shining your light, and honestly, just do your best to be who you want to be. Don't listen to the world. Don't listen to the social standards, because again, they're meant to keep us in a box. We're not meant to be in a box. There's a reason why the world is a sphere. There's a reason why there is a night and a day. There's a reason why there's good and there's bad. Believe in what I'm saying, because I've been there, and I'm 26, and I'm on the fucking top of the world. And listen, I'm rich in here, but it correlates to everything else in here. And I don't stress about riches, because I know opportunities just get thrown at me. Opportunities just come out of nowhere. Money will come out of nowhere. And that's because I get out of the way so that the universe will allow itself to do its job. And just love yourself again, because that's where we need to get to if we want to make this world a better place. So with that, everybody, namaste as always. Thank you for tuning in. Do share the message. Do like the video, subscribe, put your notifications on, because the messages that I have out here are better than the messages that teachers are teaching in school nowadays, because this is the truth. This is the things that we need to organize within ourselves if we want to live to that better part of us. If we want to live that life that we imagine, this is how we start in here. So with that said, thank you as always. Take that call out action and make sure you hit those notifications, subscribe, and everything like that. And peace and love always, guys. Thank you for watching.